Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Butterflies Poison, continuing Not Brothers Route. I swear, it disappoint me. Anyway, we're gonna start by skipping on this beautiful afternoon. Ooh, talking to Majima. Helping him plant his giant vegetables. Or pluck his giant whatever. Anyway. The sky is dyed in indigo, signaling the beginning of nightfall. What? Is that how it works? Her thoughts still a jumbled mess, Spacey stands by the window and stares blankly in the direction of the scenery outside. Just when she tells herself to start analyzing the mysterious deaths of her parents, thoughts about her brother flash in her mind. I do enjoy the fact that she keeps calling him brother, but it's not the same. You can't, it's not the same. Just when she tries to think about her brother, the image of the Chinese bellflowers invades her mind. Maybe I'm tired. She's never had so much trouble trying to organize her thoughts before. Deciding that it's probably best that she lies down for a while, she glances over at the bed. And then... Yes? Excuse me, my lady. Do you have a second? Sure, come in. I kind of forgot Fujita's voice, I'm not gonna lie. Like, fuck. Fujita steps into the room, his face unreadable. What's the matter? Mr. Shiba has come to see you. What? Spacey freaks out. She didn't expect that man to visit now. What's so hard about giving the household a little warning before visiting? Is he downstairs now? Yes, I've let him into the parlor. It's not Fujita's voice. What's happening? Who is this man? I don't know. For some reason, my brain cannot... I've been doing a lot of stuff at work, so it's using a lot of my brain power. Okay? So now I can't brain when I try to do this. I'm like, I don't game words, can't do it. I can't voice. I don't know. Does not compute anymore. Okay. How do you want to respond to his visit? See him, I guess. I have no other choice since he's already here. Tell him I'm dead and then I don't have to see him. A gnat in my house. Or is it a bird feather? I can't tell. Very well. I must also inform you that the master is already there, in the parlor with our guest. What? My brother's actually in the parlor? To entertain a guest? Spacey widens her eyes. Yes, well, Mr. Shiba himself said he'd like to have a chat with the master. So my brother was in the room before Shiba came to visit? Yes. Huh. Okay, thank you for telling me. I'll be right there. It seems that her brother has stayed in the manor again tonight. Considering how their conversation went this afternoon, she thought he'd be anywhere but the manor tonight. Spacey's happy that her brother's decided to stay in the manor tonight. Good God, can she say the manor tonight anymore? Good freaking God, in the manor tonight, in the manor tonight, in the manor tonight. Usually it's a word they keep repeating. This is a phrase. But the visit of a certain absolutely troublesome man has dampened her mood. Why did he have to visit tonight when her brother is home? In the manor? Tonight? Tonight in the manor? Well, he's in the manor tonight? Tonight? In the manor? He's in the manor tonight. Like tonight he's in the manor, but in the manor tonight. Seriously! There we go. Her brother has stayed in the manor again tonight, considering how their conversation... Anywhere but in the manor tonight. In the manor tonight. Jesus Christ! I know my brain is broken, but Jesus. Spacey internally prays for her brother's mood to not get any worse as she makes her way out of her room. Once she arrives at the parlor, she finds her brother and Shiba sitting, facing each other. As usual, Shiba has a bouquet of gorgeous lilies in his hand and an arrogant look on his face. Gorgeous lilies and an arrogant look. That's a good combo. He's also sitting with his legs crossed. Her brother's being his usual detached and aloof self, a total opposite of Shiba. Spacey would pay to know what the two men have been discussing. Well, you should have been listening at the door before you went in. Shiba... Hey, my lady. Shiba gets up from his seat and pushes the bouquet of flowers onto Spacey's chest. The thick scent of lily and the fragrance of Shiba's cologne smell oddly domineering. Someone sure is grumpy today. Because someone decided to visit me. Unannounced. Again. I heard the master here was greatly offended by the tiger meat. So I thought I'd come and visit to appraise the master's mood with my own eyes. Who told you about that? Lady Kyoko did. Expect her to invite you guys for another dinner soon, as a token of her apology. Shiba's voice is also not freaking fully right. I don't know what's happening. Oh my god, she does not owe us an apology! And gee, maybe she'll feed us peacock meat next time. One vote from me. Her brother's sarcastic remarks almost make Spacey want to strangle him. Lady Kyoko wouldn't be so apologetic if her brother hadn't let his displeasure show on his face. Brother, why are you being so sardonic? I'm not. I'm just saying that our taste buds work differently from those of the Amami family, since we're a poor household. I really don't want to attend their dinner parties ever again. Brother, that's uncalled for! The master's a straightforward man indeed, and I personally would take honesty over a poor attempt at flattery any day. Oopsie. I accidentally closed my guide. I can arrange my words and make them sound pretty, but I decided not to because I wanted to make sure people like you would get my point. Ouch! Spacey lets out a long, suffering sigh. As expected, her brother's clearly not in the mood to be amicable. She needs to make Shiba leave as soon as possible. Fine, so you came here just to talk about Lady Kyoko, yes? Nope, came here to see you, obviously. You should stop saying those things to me. They're nothing but a bother. Spacey places the bouquet that she received from Shiba on top of the table and sits down next to her brother on the couch. Shortly after, Fujita comes in with 3 cups of tea. Just as Fujita turns to bow toward them and leave, Mizuhito lets out an "oh" and stops him. Oh, Fujita. Yes. Could you please bring the eggplants and cucumbers that the garden produced today? Eggplants and cucumbers, sir. Eggplants and cucumbers. What? Brother, what are you talking about? Right away, sir. Fujita's like, the fuck? Fujita looks marginally confused, but he turns around as ordered anyway. He looks marginally confused, which tells you he is extremely motherfucking confused because anything showed on his face. I think Fujita is very good at controlling these things. Spacey gapes at her brother. Brother, what are we going to do with those eggplants and cucumbers? Girl, don't ask that question when you're talking to the man who's been wanting to bone you since he thought he might be your brother. Just saying. This is not, just, get out. Everybody get out. We aren't going to do anything with them. Shiba is. And they're my gifts for Shiba. Huh? She can't believe her ears. It's almost too ludicrous that her brother would make a successful nouveau riche go home with vegetables, grown and harvested in their very own garden. Huh. You grow your own vegetables in the garden? Yes. We're poor, so we can't afford decent meals. Brother! Spacey's pretty sure that her cheeks are redder than tomatoes at this point. She just wants to make her brother stop talking, but then Fujita comes back with a basket full of vegetables. I was literally wondering for half a second if our brother was like, get the vegetables that Majima made. Yeah, because they're poison, so I want to give them to Shiba. Like, I was like, because you know Majima's trying to kill everybody, right? And he's got this vendetta. So my brain was like, did Majima, like, poison the vegetables and, like, our brother kind of suspects, so he's giving them to Shiba so that Shiba will get poisoned by said vegetables? Is he that, like, fucking sadistic? Is that what's happening here? I mean, we killed Shiba. We poisoned him slowly once, so why not our brother? Whatever. Inside the basket that Fujita's carrying is a pile of fresh, lustrous vegetables that Majima grew himself. I gotta be honest, okay, so like Majima, it's kind of funny that Majima's like out for vengeance and whatever, and he's working as a gardener, but he's like really fucking good at it, because he grows some really nice vegetables, he has beautiful flower, and he's like, I do this to calm myself when I want to stab you in the eye, because the long haul, it's about the long haul, so I can't stab you in the eye, so I fluff the flowers instead, and it makes me feel at peace for a little while I plot your demise. It's kind of fucking cute. I kind of like it. You're like, you are an evil criminal mastermind, but it's endearing that you want to fluff the flowers and plant wonderful vegetables. Like, you have this green... it's just... You know what I mean? Because it's like... Good or evil, everybody's got to have a hobby, but it is just very weird when there's like a wholesome hobby like gardening or knitting or something, and it's someone who's like, you're a serial killer who literally peels off people's skin, but you knit cute little bears in your spare time. Like, it's the juxtaposition where you're like, I'm not expecting this, and I'm very confused, and I like it. Okay, I like it. Like, it's good. It's good balance. Or vegetables. They looked so beautiful in the garden the last time Spacey saw them, but now they make her want to cry. Here are your vegetables, sir. Wow, didn't expect the vegetables to look so professionally grown. You've harvested some really fine vegetables.
Thank you. Please take these vegetables home with you, because we have nothing else to offer.
It's like he's fucking drunk. Macy's glaring holes into the floor beneath her feet, face hot and probably steaming, while her hands are balled up around her sleeves. Her brother's such a cruel man. He deliberately lowers the household and emphasizes its poor and miserable predicament. By doing so, he aims to force the other party to feel guilty, and she doesn't like this strategy at all. Chiba's drowning in more money than he probably knows what to do with. He can't possibly be yearning for eggplants and cucumbers in his life. You don't know. You don't know what he likes to do in his spare time. Sorry for making this horrible, but seriously, maybe he just loves eggplant parm. He's like, I love eggplants and cucumbers, and you can't get quality veggies, like, you know what I mean? It'd be like going to your friend's house who has a farm who has chickens, and they're like, here, take this huge basket of fucking eggs. I'd be like, sweet! I love eggs! Or fresh egg, yeah! You know? Be exciting. Like, I go to the store and buy eggs, but, like, these are free eggs, and they're, like, farm fresh, they're better. Yeah! I'm just saying, you know? Maybe Sheba really loves cucumbers. Maybe loves cucumber salad. I don't know. You don't know. But by choosing to ignore that fact on purpose, her brother wants him to think the household is nothing. Not even pride. It's such an insidious method. I'm kind of curious why he's doing this.
Go on. Accept those vegetables.
No, I'm not taking them home. But Sheba refuses her brother's offer. Mizuhito blinks before tilting his head questioningly.
Why not?
Your servant grew these vegetables to lessen the financial burden of this household, right? These vegetables, they weren't grown for me to have.
You shouldn't be concerned about that. We have plenty of vegetables left. If you don't take some with you right now, they'll just rot here.
Not if you make pickles out of these vegetables. Those things last for days. Or longer if you keep them in your fridge. Pickles. That's the only thing that came out of a cucumber that's worthwhile. I do not like cucumbers. I don't. I just don't know what it is. Like, you want to like cucumbers. But I'm just not a fan. I don't know. I don't think I hate them, but it's not something I ever, like, oh, cucumbers! Like, oh, I have cucumbers? You know? But, like, pickles! Fuck yeah! Pickle that shit! My uncle used to make fresh pickles. Like, literally grow the cucumbers. Because, like, his dad had a farm, so, like, my aunt and uncle lived, like, on the farm. Basically, like, backed up to the farm. Right. So my uncle had, like, a little vegetable patch out in the back that was, like, their personal thing, and, like, had cucumbers, and would actually then freaking pickle that shit. And, like, I just remember being a kid in the summer going out and visiting my cousins, and me and my cousin would sneak out, and we would, like, just freaking jam it. Those were the best fucking pickles. The best goddamn pickles. Love them. Still think about them 300 years later. Anyway. Pickles. Mizuhito wrinkles his nose, clearly not expecting that suggestion. Hey, don't wrinkle your nose at pickles! Pickles, peanut butter, pizza, and potatoes are, like, 4 of the greatest foods that start with P. But, like, potatoes and pickles and peanut butter, you could just, you know, I mean, pizza's, but that's, like, more like a food that you put together. You can buy pickles at the store in a jar. I mean, you could buy a pizza at the store, but you know what I mean? That's a bunch of ingredients. Just eat peanut butter right out of a jar. Potatoes are a really good ingredient. Also, eggs. They don't start with P, though. I just want fucking pickles now, Jesus.
What does a man like you know about pickles? Do you know how to pickle vegetables?
Of course. And I'm sure you have absolutely no idea how to make pickled vegetables, master.
Well, no. Men don't enter the kitchen.
I don't know how to make delicious pickled vegetables. I had to make pickles because that was the only method I had to make my food stock last longer. I had to do all that in order to survive.
And that reminds me. You told us once that you knew what it felt like to be poor.
Spacey remembers those words, too. It was when they got invited to the Amami family's dinner party. When her brother spoke cynically about the extravagant lifestyle of the Amami family in Sheba, Sheba did tell them. I know what it feels like to be poor, and I bet you can't even begin to imagine the severity of my penniless days. It's like living in hell. We know now what it was like, because he was literally like living on the streets. It's easy to forget that this man was not born rich. If his words were true, then he probably climbed his way up from the bottom of poverty to get where he is now.
Your suggestion of pickling these vegetables is boring. Fine. Fujita, please take those vegetables away.
Right away, sir. Mizuhito probably expected a different kind of reaction from Sheba. With a disappointed look on his face, he tells Fujita to leave with the vegetables. I had a sneeze building up and I thought I could finish that sentence, but I couldn't. Sorry. He tells Fujita to leave with the vegetables. So I was like, leave with the vegetables. Thought I could make it, man. Sheba watches their exchange and barks out a dry laugh. You must really hate me, don't you?
And you only notice now.
No, but given what happened just now, I think it's safe to assume you do a lot of childish things.
Oh, please. My inner child is nothing compared to yours. I mean, remind me who introduced my little sister as his fiancée to the lady again.
My, not by. Him, Ronald. Fix your shit. You have a point there. But you can cut me some slack for that, right? I mean, your sister and I are going to get married in the near future, so...
Must be nice to have a brain that can entertain you with fresh delusions every day.
Sheba bursts out laughing, but Mizuhito only appears more irked. Feeling out of place, Spacey sits ramrod straight in her seat. Sheba must have predicted this outcome, this awry atmosphere, so why did he think visiting would be a good idea? He's a sucker for punishment. I mean, to be fair, okay, to Sheba, right? Like, why, if he knew this was going to happen, why did he come? Because I think he likes the abuse a little. We know Fujita really enjoyed it. We saw that in his route. But if you think about it, I don't think Sheba hates the abuse either, because he takes it from us, because he's thinking, eventually I'm going to win you over. But also in all the bad endings where we like, he marries us and he's like, I know she's killing me, but I don't care. He took our abuse. When we marry him and we're like, I'm only marrying you so I can fuck Hideo on the side, he's like, takes the abuse. Like, I think he likes it a little. Maybe not quite as openly as Fujita enjoys the abuse, because I think he likes it a little bit more. But Sheba's not opposed to it. Is that his preference? No. But he's gonna take it if it comes from us. I mean, Jesus Christ, we are just... You can dominate all these men and they'll just be like, alright, whatever. You're sleeping with everybody? I mean, this is why this game would have been great with a man harem. I'm just saying. There really should have been a man harem entry. We kind of have half-man harems where we have our husband and our boyfriend on the side. But I'm just saying I want the full harem. Like, Sheba kind of moves in with us, but then we're boning our brother and our gardener and our fucking childhood best friend and, like, you know, and our butler. And it's just like, yeah, cool, whatevs. And nobody cares because they all like it when I abuse them a little. This is the perfect game for a man harem. Fight me on that. Seriously, you can't. You know damn well you're like, yeah, no, actually, they would all take it. Look at all the endings where we have, like, multiple lovers and they're like, don't care, I get to be here, that's cool. All of these motherfuckers are ripe for a man harem picking. Just saying. So, like, I wish the game had balls, because it was doing so well, I thought it had balls, but they're fake balls. Okay? They're fake ones. It's like, because it was like, here's your brother. It's not really your brother, don't worry about it. But you ruined it. And you didn't give me a man harem. I'm just saying, I need you to up the ante. Hike your tits up and, like, pony up the dough. Come on, what the shit? Where's my man harem and where's my brother? Route. Still hoping that Majima's her brother cousin, but anyway. Man harem would have been perfect. It would have saved it. I mean, still take off a little bit because our brother's not our brother. That's disappointing, but I don't know, game. You were almost perfect. You were almost perfect. Still a shining star in the top tier of games. Not gonna lie. But it's kind of like, but you're just, you had perfection in your grasp, game. All the other ones, it's like, this would have been perfect if this and this, but they didn't think about that. But you set me up for this game. You set me up going, this is the perfect game for a man harem. Where's that? Oh, you didn't have the balls to do it. This was the perfect, you set me up for a brother route and you didn't pull it out. So I'm just saying, perfection was in your grasp. You had your fingers on it and you just let it fly away. Disappointed. It's still a great game, but anyway. Anyway, why is he so obsessed with her? That's the one question that Spacey's yet to find the answer to.
Fine, whatever. I'm going out for a little bit, so...
Huh? Surprised, Spacey whips her head up, only to find her brother slowly getting up from his seat. Brother, where are you going?
Nowhere in particular. I'll be home before you know it.
His vague answer only serves to justify Spacey's guess as to her brother's destination. You promised! Is he seriously going to that godforsaken place? Right now? She gnaws on her lips. Why does her brother keep making her work so hard to figure him out? Why does her brother keep tormenting her? Honestly, this is where you should remind him of his promise. You promised. Going to the usual brothel?
Maybe. Maybe not.
You promised me. Yeah, damn girl, high five! I was like, if she doesn't fucking say it, he's so mad. You said you wouldn't go to that place again.
Well...
Mizuhito looks at Spacey and shifts his gaze to Shiba.
I can't stay here and be in your way, now can I?
Be in my way? Brother, I don't understand.
Spacey, read between the lines, will you?
Mizuhito lets out an exasperated sigh. Seems that his little sister needs him to spell it out for her. It's so funny because he's like, I don't want to be in the way because you're going to marry Shiba. And it's like, I never said I liked Shiba. He's being a little jealous, petulant bastard. I kind of dig it. That's exactly what's happening. He's like, oh, because Shiva's here and you want to be alone with him because you don't want to marry me, even though I'm not your brother. Like, give us a minute to process this, bro. She can't stop calling you brother. So, like, even though it's disappointing for me as the person playing, or as the MC, I have to be like, gotta take some time to process that I grew up thinking you're my brother and you're not my brother and you're in love with me and I might have feelings for you and this is awkward. Okay? Been sexier and more awkward if he was our brother. I'm just saying.
I'm in pain.
Huh? Mizuhito straightens himself. He spares Spacey, who's looking at him in utter bafflement, a sidelong glance and quickly crosses the parlor to leave. Kazushima. Spacey decides to chase after him, leave him be. I feel like we should chase after him. Because that would be, like, leaving him be would be, like, just, I feel like that would be bad. You know what I mean? Like, it's his route. So, you know, in other routes, I think we let him be, and that was the way it was supposed to go, but it's his route. He should be the main focus for us, and leaving him be is like, okay, I'm focusing on Shiba, and I feel like that would be bad, you know? Chasing after him would show that we have some kind of feelings or emotions here, so, hold on. Sorry, to sniffle. And I have to find... Yes, chase after him. Good job. Brother, wait! Spacey quickly gets up and chases after her older brother, who has left the room. Spacey catches Shiba's muttered words from behind. Something about siblings being dramatic, but she doesn't stop to make sure. Instead, she picks up her pace. Brother! Realizing that his sister has followed him out of the room, Mizuhito stops in his tracks.
Spacey, are you sure you should be leaving our guest alone?
I wouldn't be doing this if you hadn't chosen to suddenly go out, brother.
I think you're missing the point. I shouldn't be the one you're worried about.
Well,
Shiba came here to see you. My absence is of little concern to him.
But it's of huge concern to me! I want you to stay here, brother! Shiba can be here inside the manor or somewhere out there for all she cares. Spacey doesn't have enough patience in her to keep entertaining Shiba while knowing that her brother is on his way to the red light district. Why are you trying to break your promise? Tell me, what am I supposed to do? What do you want me to do to make you stay, brother? Tell me! Nobody wants you to do to make him stay. Anybody want to venture a guess? Hands? Anybody? Ideas? I think we all know. She raises her voice, nearly losing her temper. Is this where you're going to kiss me and then Shiba sees it and then spreads a word that we're, like, incestuous? Even though not really? See, here's the thing, right? Hold on. Sorry, very sniffly and, like like sinusy all of a sudden. Here's the thing, right? In the game, just like the warnings for the game, incest was in there. And I said this before, if our brother turns out not to be our brother, then you can't claim incest because there's not really incest, right? It's implied, subtle, like, kind of like, could still be creepy to people, like, say you have a brother, you're like, ew, if I found out my brother wasn't really my brother, I still don't think I'd want to have sex with him because, like, you grew up, but it's not real incest. It's just that icky feeling as if, you know what I mean? You get the similar icky feeling, but it's not actual incest. So if that's one of the trigger warnings, like incest and assault and things like that, if incest is one of those things and our brother's not our brother, then Majima has to be related to us because somebody's got to be incestuous with us. Come on. Hold on. I swear I have not sniffled or sneezed all day until right freaking now. I don't know what it is. Anyway, she raises her voice, nearly losing her temper. Her brother promised her he wouldn't patronize the red light district anymore, but it looks like their promise is already waning in his mind. But then he had the guts to reveal the secrets of his bloodline and confess to Spacey. Her brother was always around her, but there was always something about him that made him unreachable. So when he told her his secrets, she thought the wall between them was finally collapsing. She thought she'd be able to finally understand her brother. But now it feels like they can't be further apart. Her brother's in a place outside her reach, further than ever before. Told Spacey everything about himself, but now he's the one creating a distance between them. Even told her that his confession was a product of his drunken mind. You're such a selfish man, brother. You got closer to me and now you're trying to distance yourself. Each time without giving me a chance to have a say. I don't know what to make of our situation anymore. Spacey. Mizuhito's eyes widen and he finally looks like he's here in the moment as he stares at Spacey. Sorry. My words and my actions. I must have been giving you mixed signals. I mean, yeah. He walks towards Spacey and gently strokes her hair. Spacey feels the back of her eyes burn at the nostalgic touch and she bites her lower lip. They're alone now. A brother and a sister, all on their own. I mean, I gotta give the game credit for constantly brother, sister, brother, 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 brother. Even though he's not related to us, I appreciate that you're trying to keep me in the moment that you ruined. You still ruined it, but I appreciate that you're trying to keep me here and, like, trying to make it awkward. Not nearly as awkward as it should be. But the attempt's there, I guess. Spacey's father and mother are no longer around in the manor, so when her brother started to feel like another person entirely to her, it hurt so badly. She knows how her brother feels. She knows that her brother's suffering. And it's precisely this knowledge that makes Spacey's heart ache. Even though she isn't related to her brother by blood, he's still family, someone who spent years living under the same roof as her. Blood relationship or not, her brother's the only family that she has, and yet the air between them and inside the manor is cold and sorrowful. Fine. I get it, Spacey. Mizuhito lifts his hand to cup Spacey's cheek and smiles softly at her. Let's make things clear now. Huh? Oh my god. I was like, let's make things clear now. You were gonna kiss me, right? Never mind. I'm gonna tell you one more time. I love you. And not as my little sister, but as a woman. I've tried to kill these feelings that I have for you. Twice. Her brother murmurs, eyes staring into the past. The first time was when I believed that you were my little sister, born from a different mother. So that's interesting. I've had these feelings of longing for... Of course, first of all, when you thought... Okay, well, your dream of painting probably wasn't crushed when you were really young. You were older. But, like, how old were we? Because I feel like that must still been a little creepy. You were feeling for me, like... What? When I was, like, a young teenager? That's a little awkward. But anyway, let's forget about that. Whatever. But... he was like, I think you're my sister, but I still want to do you. I like that. That's cool. Good job, game. A little weird, depending on the age that we were at the time, because that could be a little creepy. But, like, forget that part of it. That part is going to make... No. Let's not do this 20-year age difference thing. I'm, like, 15 and they're 35. That's gross. Let's not do that. But you know what I mean? But here, like... But brothers, fuck it. Let's do them. We all have weird kinks and things that we don't accept, okay? There's a line. Mine's just wiggly, all right? It's all over the place. But, like, that's kind of interesting. I tried to pretend I didn't love you when I thought you were my sister, but you still wanted to bone me. So that's interesting. I'm here for that. We also kept finding our brother attractive, and our mother was like, please, God, don't say that shit about your siblings. She knew there was some lusty going on here. Anyway.
And the second time was when I ended up confessing my love to you. I'm sure the first one goes without saying, but when I found out that we weren't related by blood, I felt despair and hope at the same time.
He's like, I'm despairing because the game had, again, perfection in its grasp, and it let it go.
But back then I was too overwhelmed. What little pride that I had as an heir of the Nomiya family was crushed, and I lost track of who I was. And then a man came out of nowhere and proposed to you. I was terribly impatient. I let the alcohol get into me, and I ended up blurting out my feelings to you. And you spent days brooding over my confession, and the sight pained me. So I thought of erasing the feelings that I have for you. Mizuhito looks down at his toes, sadness visible in those orbs. But it's just as you said. I have been selfish, and I've terribly upset you. Which is why I want to make things clear with you now. I want to know what to do with these feelings.
Yeah, I know what to do with those feelings.
Spacey, who will you choose? Me or Shiba?
Obviously you. It's your route. Huh?
Feel free to choose neither of us. I won't mind. And the most important thing is, I need to hear your answer or I won't be able to move on. But please, Spacey.
Her brother begs, and Spacey feels something heavy clogging in her heart. She can't make her decision right here and now. But if she reveals her inability to make a choice now to her brother, her statement will only inflict more pain on him. Her brother was right. Spacey has indeed spent days brooding over his confession. Maybe it's the right time to clarify where they stand to save both of them. Feelings are... Uh-oh. Choose Mizuhito. Choose Shiba. Choose neither! Obviously, we're going to choose Mizuhito, because, like, he's our brother, and... he's our brother! This is his route, why would we choose Shiba? You know what I'm saying? Oh, guys! I don't know if this is the save chapter, the set one for the, Okay, I've been saving them, like, in different places, so we're going to save that here. Okay. Of course we choose Mizuhito. So, I wonder... I would think a bad ending would come if you chose Shiba or neither. Actually, if you choose Shiba, absolutely we marry Shiba, and our brother probably jumps into the lake again. The answer is you, brother.
Do you mean it?
Spacey nods. Has she made the right choice? Yes! Yes! Unless you want the bad ending, then no. But if you want the good ending, yes. Anxiety brushes against her mind for a moment. When she looks up to find her brother smiling down at her, the dark thoughts disappear.
I'm so glad.
Oh. Oh, I thought he was going to kiss us. No, it's just a nice hug. It's a nice hug, CG. Look at his tousled hair. It's pretty. Her brother pulls her in for a gentle embrace, pressing her face against his chest, and Spacey closes her eyes. She looks to be enjoying it. She's made the right choice. This is for the best. She knows it. Something ugly tells her she's committed herself to a taboo relationship. Not really. He's not exactly your I mean, okay. Societally, like, yes. Society's gonna look and go, oh my god, you're siblings. I'm like, we're not actually blood related, though, even if you explain that and, like, say you had proof, documented proof. People are still gonna be like, it's still a little weird because you grew up as siblings. I'm like, whatever, sure they're not siblings. You know what I mean? So people are still gonna talk, but not really taboo to fall in love with someone that has absolutely no blood relationship to you whatsoever. There might be, I guess, a little weirdness behind the, like, we grew up as siblings, but you're not actually related in any way, so, like, you know, it's kind of like just because you are blood related to someone doesn't mean you have to love them. You could be like, I hate this person. Like, parents who have douchey, horrible children. You're like, I love my kid, but I kind of hate him at the same time. Yeah, but do you really love them? Or are you just, like, conditioned by society to be like, they're my children, I have to love them. They're a serial killer. I don't think you have to love them. They're a horrible excuse for a human. I don't think you have to love them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like sometimes you're like, I love my family, but sometimes I don't like them. And that's valid. You love your friends. Sometimes you don't like them. I love my birds. Sometimes I don't like them. You know what I mean? Like, I love him to death, but sometimes it's not that I don't like him. I don't like his attitude. Sometimes he's bad bird. And I still will always love him, but I don't like his attitude. But it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, there's a balance. You're not like 100%. But like, so just because someone was blood related to, if he was our half brother, doesn't mean we have to love him. We could be like, he's the worst human being, and I loathe and despise his existence. You know what I mean? So just because we grew up thinking we're siblings, we find out we're not, doesn't mean, well, I have to treat him like a sibling, because, you know what I mean? There's no rules. There's not actually rules to emotions. Emotions have no fucking rules. That's why they're incomprehensible sometimes, you know? Sure, we kind of have the comprehensible ones of like, you are actually blood related, you were twins, you were born in the same, you were in the same womb at the same time, and you've lived together as twins, you know that, and then you want to do that's weird, and I get that, but like, you know, there's not really rules on like, well, we grew up as siblings, so we have to always act like that. No, you're not, so you could throw that out if you want. For most people, it would be weird, but there's gonna be some outliers like these two who are like, yeah, fuck it, or fuck each other, basically, but you know, so, I don't know, that was a weird tangent, but, you know, it's like, you don't have to, it's the societal thing, people are gonna look at it like it's taboo and weird, even if you tell them, oh, we're not actually blood related, they're still gonna think it's weird, so, but you know it's not really actually taboo, because you're not related. You were related, that's where the taboo comes in, you know? But anyway, she's committed herself to a taboo relationship. I wish, but the game didn't have balls. It dropped its balls. But her brother's warmth tells her that there's no better solution than this. Her nostrils can't pick up any scent from her brother's body, as per usual. Her brother, a man who exists detached from this world. A man who sways with the wind like a wildflower. The only way for her to reaffirm her brother's existence is by hugging him this way, by feeling his warmth seeping onto her own skin. There's no other way but this. She needs to keep a firm hold around her brother, securing her arms around him this tight, lest her brother slip away out of her reach. Macy circles her arm around her brother's back and dinks her fingernails into the fabric of his kimono. Brother, you stay by my side. Absolutely, I will. Promise me you won't go anywhere anymore. Oh, well. They tighten their embrace around each other. Macy rests her cheek against her brother's shoulder and feels a warm sensation of relief spreading inside her chest. Although it does make the conversation we had before we found out he wasn't our brother, like, are you gonna love me the way those women do? And you're like, huh? So he just like hugs him like it, and he's just like, you know what I do to those women, right? And we're just like, I'm just gonna pretend I don't. Like, it would have been a little bit better when she's like, yes. I mean, she did say yes, but I don't know if she fully grasped what she was saying. And now you have no excuse. She has her brother in her hold. She's finally caught him. Now that they've arrived at this point, she finds it almost baffling that she wasted so much time being indecisive. Heavy footsteps approach them. She lifts her head to see who's there beyond her brother's shoulder. At the end of her line of sight is Sheba, wrinkling his nose and watching them with shocked eyes. What, siblings can't hold each other? I mean, it's not like we're making out, we're just hugging. You know what I mean? A hug is a hug. Sheba, don't get any ideas. Actually, I mean, all your ideas are right, but don't get any ideas. Okay, this is pretty embarrassing. Macy pulls back from her brother's hold. She supposes Sheba thinks it's odd for a brother and sister to be hugging like they've just been. Again, it's not. It's not awkward to hug your family. It's okay. I mean, I guess there's a difference between a passionate embrace and like a family embrace, but we don't know you don't know what it looks like. I mean, I guess we don't know what it looks like, but just us hugging isn't weird. What are you guys doing here? Her brother blinks lazily and turns around. Oh, hey Sheba, you're still here. I could ask you the same thing. Yeah, I changed my mind. I'm not going out anymore. And I'm supposed to connect that decision of yours with the hugging scene I just witnessed? Exactly. My lovely sister went out of her way to stop me from leaving, and being only human,
I couldn't win against her plea. I don't think anyone could either if they were in my shoes.
Sheba huffs. He rolls his eyes and shakes his head. It's like, I mean, it might have been an intense hug, but I don't think it was like, I mean, okay, between us it was passionate, but again, as an outsider, you see two people hugging, or you're like, oh, they're into each other. Or, you know what I mean? He might think it's slightly awkward for you to hug your sister like that, but we're a close family. We hug, okay? We're a close family. We're gonna go have sex now. We're not actually family, but nobody else knows that. Of course. Excuse me for not making the connection sooner. Anyways, congratulations. Something good must have happened because your face is practically glowing.
And your face is kind of dark. Are you tired? I think you should go home already.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. I just saw something very off-putting. Like, he's making inferences. And now everyone's gonna know. Because Sheba's gonna be like, I saw them hugging. Who hugs their family? Again, it could have just been a very, when he's looking, he's like, that seems like an awkward hug between siblings. But normal people would see something like that and be like, that seems like a very impassioned hug for siblings, but like, maybe I'm just misreading the situation. And let it go. And then you see other things, and then you're like, I was not misreading that situation. But Sheba's just assuming that there's something gross going on here. I mean, he's not wrong, but kind of wrong because it's not. We're not related, but according to everyone else around us, it's wrong because they think we're related, so. Oh. Sheba shrugs, looking entirely uninterested in them. And then he walks toward Spacey. He pats her on the shoulder and leans forward. With peering eyes, Sheba smirks and whispers in a low voice in her ear. If I have to name one flaw that you have, that your brother is way too... it's your brother who's way too attached to his little sister. I didn't ask for your opinion. Spacey knows her face is blushing, but she doesn't know why the red tinge across her cheeks seems to make Sheba look marginally more relieved than a second ago. I'll be taking my leave for today. Lady Kyoko will probably send you both another invitation soon, so I'm already looking forward to our next meeting.
Sure, thanks for stopping by.
Sheba raises his eyebrows pointedly and scoffs, his ability to be sarcastic seeming to have come back full force. He bows lightly to Mizuhito and Spacey before crossing the room with long strides. When Fujita, who happened to be walking out of the manor, catches Sheba on his way out, he briskly follows him to properly see him off. At the quiet entrance hall, Spacey and Mizuhito stare at each other.
He said I'm your flaw.
Oh God, brother, you heard it?
I did. My ears can pick up any bad comments that people make about me.
Mizuhito grins, and the air about him Mizuhito grins, the air about him exuberant, and circles his arms around Spacey's shoulders.
He's got a point, though. I am a bad big brother.
Stop it, brother. You're not. I mean... Yes and no. If you were our brother, definitely. Bad. Bad. Shame on you, lusting after your sister. But he's not, so give him a pass, I guess.
I am, too. I'm a bad big brother for wanting to kiss my little sister on the lips. Even now as we speak.
Mizuhito calmly guides Spacey to hide in the shadows of a pillar. The atmosphere around them changes. It's like they're trapped in a secretive bubble, like they're playing hide-and-seek. An unfamiliar feeling creeps its way into Spacey's heart. Akin to the emotion she felt when she pranked the people of the manor back when she was a child. It's like she and her brother are playing a game. It lacks a sense of reality, and her feet feel like they're floating.
Can I kiss you, Spacey?
No! I can't kiss you, brother!
Why?
Do you even need to ask?
Well, let's try, okay?
Huh?
Well, let's give it a try and see for ourselves if kissing makes us feel guilty.
She's pretty sure she has heard similar words from her brother several times before. He would tell her to give something a try, to see if it's really something she shouldn't do. Give it a shot. He was like, I feel like he was grooming you a little for this. Like, I'm going to start slowly saying, oh, go ahead, give it a try. Run through this grass with your bare feet. It'll be fun. Like, to get to this point where we're like, okay, oh, wait a minute. You've been doing this a lot, innocuous little things, so that when we got to this taboo, dirty thing, I'd be like, okay, I trust you. Even though it's not really as taboo and dirty. Spacey's always been a mischievous person, so the specific phrasing from her brother worked like a charm on her, And before she'd realize it, she already had been nodding in response to her brother's invitation. See? He was like, oh my god! Back then, she used to be a ball of curiosity. She feels as if time has taken her back to those days. The only thing different is a brand new, tingling sensation inside her chest. It's an experience that isn't easy to describe. Do it. Oh my god. Her brother smoothly draws her face in. Don't push him away. Stacy closes her eyes. Oh, there we go! It's not the same when he's not our brother, but it's still slightly exciting. I think the game's doing a good job trying to keep the taboo feeling without having the actual taboo brother-sister relationship. Is a kissy CG between not siblings, so in case you're wondering. You know what I mean? So I can appreciate that, but it's still... It's like, okay, so you're trying to keep the taboo, and it's doing a great job at trying to keep the taboo. Her keep calling him brother, him talking to her like a sister. You know what I mean? It's trying to keep that vibe without it actually being legitimately gross. I could understand, again, if you have a brother, being like, nope, it's still weird. It's still weird, because if I found out my brother wasn't my brother, and I thought he was my brother my whole life, I still wouldn't want to sleep with him. You know what I mean? Again, I can't put myself in those shoes, because I don't know what it's like to have a brother. You know what I mean? So, like, and I don't think any of us, even if we did, could put in the place of going like, yes, I think my brother's kind of hot. The way she's kind of said, oh, my brother is beautiful and all this stuff. And it's like, you kind of been looking at your brother with slightly creepy eyes underneath. You know what I mean? Instead of being like, yes, I can recognize that a person that I have no actual attraction to is by definition an attractive person. There's a difference between logic and emotion behind it. But, like, the way we kind of set it up in the game in the beginning, it was like, there's a little bit too, God, my brother's beautiful. And not, yes, my brother is a beautiful man, so I understand why women want to throw themselves at him. Like, factual. It was a little more emotional, you know? Because they were leading up to this, obviously. But, like, I don't know. I like that they're trying to keep the taboo feeling so that if you were like, God, no, siblings, you're like, all right, it's still gross and weird, but I can go, but they're not really siblings, and power through it. But, like, I want the full taboo. Okay. Again, game lost its balls. But I appreciate that it's trying to maintain the awkward, weird feeling without the actual awkward weirdness. You know what I mean? Doing a good job. Still ruins it a little for me. It's still not the same. But, oh, I'm not moaning for him. Something soft touches her lips. The closest thing her brain connects to the texture is a marshmallow. So now we don't have marshmallow characters, we have marshmallow lips. It's such a lovely feeling, but it leaves her lips not a moment later. When she opens her eyes, her brother's watching her with a mischievous smirk tugging at his lips.
See, and that wasn't so bad, was it? Still not convinced, are we? Now let's do it one more time.
Fucking Fujita all of a sudden walks around the corner like, Surprised, Spacey moves to react, but her brother Mizuhito is faster. He tilts his head and brings his face forward to land another kiss on her lips. The kiss lasts longer than their first one. Long enough for her to wonder if warmth can feel this cold at the same time, for her to feel her brother's soft breath fanning her cheeks. Brother, you're so lovely. He murmurs and kisses her on the cheek. He has an arm wrapped around her waist while his other hand moves up to stroke her hair. And then he leans in to land another feather-light kiss on her lips. Apparently he doesn't want their playtime to be over yet, and the realization fills her heart with warm pieces of cotton. While Spacey's heart's pounding loudly against her ribcage, her brain registers the comfort that her brother's lips provide. The ambience around her brother is pure and transparent, none of those filthy and savage desires that a man usually oozes. He's the exact opposite of Sheba. Sheba reeks of a man through and through. It isn't exactly unpleasant, but it always makes her hesitant to approach him. On the other hand, approaching her brother is as easy as breathing. To her, her brother's presence is like a gentle breeze that brushes her hair on a sunny day. Comforting. Will you accept me? He presses his lips against her ear and whispers, Unless you found my kisses disgusting. The lonely tone makes her look up at her brother. She locks eyes with her brother's, bright and clear, and her heart aches. Her head moves on its own accord, shaking to dispel her brother's doubts. She's decided to choose her brother. She won't reject him. Spacey isn't even sure she can even bring herself to reject him. And it goes without saying that she doesn't hate her brother. In fact, physical contact with her brother feels comfortable. Still, the ethics drilled into her skull during the years she spent living with her brother as his younger sister are refusing to acknowledge her affection for her brother. They form a lump inside her chest, one that won't recognize her accepting her brother as a good thing. Mizuhito must understand this because he looks at Spacey with a crestfallen smile while caressing her cheek.
Hey, I have a favor to ask.
What is it, brother?
Will you let me draw a painting of you?
Painting of me? Spacey stares at her brother with wide, startled eyes. Brother, I didn't know you started painting again.
Yeah, did.
My brother nods like the matter weighs not even an ounce of significance. I wonder if he's been hiding in the storeroom painting.
I've never really stopped painting. I've actually been drawing geisha to kill time. And looking at you makes me want to finish a whole painting.
Brother, really? He's like, I don't go to the red light district to sleep with the geisha, I just draw them. Draw me like one of your geisha.
Yeah, I mean if you don't mind.
Of course I don't. Oh my god, are you going to paint me like one of your French girls and it's literally going to be naked? Right? Spacey quickly refutes. I thought you stopped drawing for good and that made me really sad. So yes, of course I'll model for you. I'll do anything to help you keep drawing.
Eager, aren't we? I thought you'd be embarrassed and put up a fight.
Huh? What are you... Spacey gasps. Her brother couldn't have been referring to a naked painting of her, could he? I mean... She wishes he didn't, because if he did, her enthusiasm must have indeed come across as questionable. And now she's terribly embarrassed of her eagerness. Brother?
Yes.
I am allowed to at least keep my kimono on, right? Mizuhito blinks. And then he raises his eyebrows, understanding clear in his eyes.
Of course you could keep your clothes on. Are you relieved now?
Yes, I'm so relieved. You can draw me as long as I'm allowed to keep myself clothed, I mean. Feel free to compensate me for being your model by creating the most beautiful painting of me.
And leave it to me. I'll draw you just as you are, though, because you're already the most beautiful being.
He says, smiling, and kisses Spacey lightly on the lips again. They're like two children playing tag. It's innocent and playful, and Spacey finds it hard to believe that their new relationship has only lasted a few minutes tops. But those seconds seems to have done enough to clear the clouds from her brother's countenance. Her brother's eyes used to look dead, but they gleamed beautifully when he said he wanted to draw Spacey. The thing is, so like, he's slightly disappointed because she's still clinging like, brother, taboo, wrong, even though he's not my brother. And he's feeling a little, but it's like, I'm sure somewhere in his mind he's like, yep, she's gonna have to get over that. Because he's had time to get past that. You know, he was like, I have feelings for you, but you're my sister, so I'm gonna kill him. Oh, wait, you're not my sister? You've had years. I've only had like a couple days. So even though I chose you and like my feelings are there, it's still like, oh, but actually you're my brother. You know what I mean? So again, disappointed he's not actually our brother and we're doing this. But I do like that the game is like kind of fight and kind of keeping that taboo thing there without it actually being there. It's the cheap way of doing it, which is disappointing to me, you know. But it's trying to give you the same feelings and the same vibe as if she's trying to get past the fact that this is her brother and she has these feelings and it's wrong, but she's still in love with him. But oh my god, and it's like that wrestling kind of grappling thing and like, you know, and that's because brother or not, if he was actually your half brother or your real brother, you'd have those feelings. And I like the fact that the game kind of kept it in there as opposed to being like, not my brother, cool, it's bound into bed with him because she's thought of him, you know? But they're taking the cheap route but he's not really your brother, so that, again, you could in your head go, it's still weird, and it's oh god, but he's not really my brother, and you could get past it, instead of being like, God, no, what are you doing, why? You know? It's easier for you, if you are totally freaked out about this whole idea, to, like, get around it and be like, it's okay, he's not my brother, but he's not really my brother, and, like, work around it and accept it and try to, like, enjoy the route for what it is instead of being like, God, no, why? You know? But I wanted the God, no, why. Clearly, I think we've determined, now even though he's not my brother, that I probably would have been okay with it. You know? Because again, the feelings they're giving you, like, oh my god, the brother thing, even though in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, but we're not related though, so it ruins it a little. But that whole, like, tense anxiety and the taboo-ness, they're putting it in really well where you're like, I still kind of feeling it though. I still feel the taboo and the wrongness that you're trying to portray, even though my mind's like, yeah, but we're not really siblings. But you're doing a good job portraying that taboo feeling and the confusion and the, oh no, it's wrong, but I'm into it, but it's dirty. And like, they're doing a good job portraying it because, like, I still remind myself, yeah, but we're not siblings, and it ruins it for me. But the way they're doing it, when you're reading the lines, and you're getting into it, and you're like, I'm feeling this. Yeah, I feel the wrongness, and I'm into it. You know, like, so still disappointed he's not really our brother, but they're doing a great job trying to keep the vibe alive without really squicking everybody out. Makes me sad, but whatever. The change might be a minor one, but to her, it's something as awe-inspiring as a miracle. It's a moment of happiness, a tiny light inside the dark manor. But yeah, I mean, great job keeping it inappropriate. A few days later, oh, Grandma's coming to talk about the marriage. What should we do, brother?
Don't worry, we can pretend to think about it, and I'll reject the offer later.
That sounds like a good idea. We can't reject the offer straight away. It'll be rude of us.
Unless you're interested in meeting this man who just came back from London or whatever.
I like how he's still being jealous. Of course not. How did you come to that conclusion? Her brother asks with mischief in his eyes, and Spacey frowns. It's like he's gonna, like, kind of almost guilt us into sleeping with him, and then we're gonna enjoy it, but it's like, he's like playing this guilt trip card. She already made her choice. Her brother. He's absolutely no intention to see anyone else, and he should know that already. But you did feel awkward about the kiss, and he could see it in your eyes, you know?
Right, sorry. But come on, smile for me.
Your sense of humor leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really sorry, though, so stop sulking, please.
Her brother winds his arm around her and gives her a quick peck on the lips. Someone's gonna see us. How the hell we were making out behind a pillar and Fujita went to see Shiba off and didn't see this? Ever since the day Spacey told him she chose him, Mizuhito's been kissing her a lot, like it's the most natural thing to do. And she surprises herself by accepting the kisses just as naturally.
Okay, and that aside, will you help me again today?
Sure, you didn't even need to ask. What are we doing? Oh my. Okay, I'm posing as his model. We're a little under time, but we were like 20 minutes over last time, so I'm gonna stop here because I don't want this to go too long. The scene. When I was skipping through the grandma scene, I'm like, okay, we'll probably get a few minutes after, but I didn't think it was gonna be as quick. 2 minutes, you know, but anyway. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.